So what we're going to do is basically recap using SOHCAHTOA to find a side in these triangles. Remember, this is what we worked on. We spent quite a bit of time on this before the holidays, and we are going to just do a little today, a couple of days, probably tomorrow as well, just recapping how to do this before moving on to the next bit on Thursday. So the next page, if it will let me turn to it. Right, okay, so this is what I need you to do, please. We're doing these two examples. This is all I'm going to show you, and I'm going to let you crack on. So if you can, obviously I can't see what you're doing, I'm just going to assume that you can all see this. Can you please write down example 1, and can you draw both of these triangles out, please? Now remember, we need to draw them out first. That's our first step always. Then we are going to label them opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse, and then we're using our SOHCAHTOA to find the missing side. So can you take a wee minute just to draw both of these out just now, please? Sorry, I think, okay. Okay, so quickly get these drawn. I'll give you 10 more seconds or so. Fill in all the information, so put in the angles, put in the lengths and the missing sides. So the first thing we're going to need to do is label these properly. So if you remember to label these correctly, we first need to identify what the hypotenuse side is, which is always going to be the longest side. It's always the one across from the right angle. So if I'm at my right angle, hopefully you can see me do this. If I'm at my right angle and I go across the way, the side that is, showing there is going to be my hypotenuse side, HYP. So can you mark that on to yours as well? Now, then once we've done the hypotenuse, we stand on our angle. So imagine you are physically standing on that 50 degrees. If you go across the triangle, that is going to be the opposite side there. So our side A turns out to be our opposite side, and the side that is next to my angle is going to be the adjacent side. Okay, so that's nothing new. We've labelled those triangles before. Hopefully you remember to do that. So now we write down this little memory tool, which is SOHCAHTOA. Okay, and if you remember, we just tick the things that we are given in this, or the things we're interested in this question. So we are definitely given the hypotenuse, so I can tick the H, I can tick the H, and we are looking for the opposite side, so I can tick the O and I can tick the O. Now remember, whichever one has 2 ticks is the one that we use, which is S, which is sine. So we then know that we're using the sine ratio here, which is the sine of the angle, which is 50 degrees, and that is equal to opposite side, OPP, over hypotenuse side. So that's the ratio that we need to start with, and now we can actually do the calculation. Okay, so we need to put the numbers in, we need to do a wee bit of rearranging, and then hopefully we have some form of calculator handy, either on your phone, if you can flick to another page, or on a laptop, or maybe you've got your own wee calculator there. So we'll put in those values first. So it's the sine of 50 degrees, and that is equal to the opposite side, which we are going to call A, over the hypotenuse side, which is 8. Now if you remember, to get this A on its own, we took this 8 and we just multiplied it up in front of the sine 50. So it's 8 times the sine of 50 degrees, and whatever that answer is, that's going to be what A is. So now, if you can, get your calculators out, type in 8 times the sine of 50, and you should be able to get the answer. Now, if you're doing it on a computer calculator, you should be able to see the sine, tan, cos functions. If you're doing it on your phone, you'll probably have to turn it sideways to get the sine, the cos, sine, and tan functions. Anyone that isn't able to get a calculator, just let me know afterwards. Just write a comment, just let me know, and this is one of the things that I can get the school to send you out if you need it. So 8 times the sine of 50, I'm getting that is 6.128. We'll round to 1 decimal place as a kind of rule, so that's going to be 6.1 centimetres. That's my final answer. Alright, so hopefully you managed to get that okay. If you did, you should be okay with the next one. So if you've got that next triangle drawn already, we can now label it the same way as before. So hypotenuse first, we're going to look at where the right angle is. We're going to go across from the right angle, and this side down here is this time the hypotenuse. We're standing on our 62-degree angle. We go across the way, that's now our opposite side. And standing on my angle again, the side just next to me, that's my adjacent side. So again, I'm going to write down my SO, CA, TOA, sine, cos, tan, with my 3 ratios, and I'm going to tick what I'm given in this next triangle. So not given the hypotenuse this time, so I'm not trying to find it, so I'm not interested in H at all. I am given O, so I can tick O, and I'm looking for the adjacent side, so I can tick my A's. So the one with 2 ticks this time is going to be tan, so that means it is the tangent, the tan of the angle 62 degrees. And remember, if you can't remember, you know, it was opposite over hypotenuse. If you can't remember which way round it is, it's just the order that we've written in there. So OA means it's O over A, so opposite over adjacent. TOA, opposite over adjacent, TOA. Excuse me. Okay, so basically it's now the same process as before. Put in our values for the opposite side, and then try and find this value of B. So it is a tan of, oh sorry, what have I done here? Like, hold on. They should be the other way around. Sorry, this should be the missing side B, and this should be the missing side 17. That's my bad. Sorry, we'll change that just now. So if you can change the opposite side to your missing side B, we're going to keep to finding the numerator in our fraction, and change the adjacent side to 17. Sorry about that, that's my bad. So it's now the tan of 62 degrees equals the opposite side, which is our letter B, over the adjacent side, which is 17. Right, and now we're doing the same thing. We're taking our 17 and we're multiplying it up there to get rid of the fraction. So 17 times the tan of 62, apologies for that wee mistake, 17 times the tan of 62, if we could put that in to our calculators, then we can get B. So get to your calculator again, type in 17 times the tan of 62, please. Give me a wee second to do that. Okay, so 17 times the tan of 62, making sure that your calculator, if you've got an actual calculator, is in degrees. If you've got a phone or a computer, that will do it for you anyway. So I get 31.97 ... because it's going on forever, which is going to give me to 1 decimal place. That's actually slightly tricky to 1 decimal place. If we imagine that's the first decimal place, we're not imagining it, it is the first decimal place. It's going to have to round up because it's got a 7 after it, but 9 can only go to 10, so that actually becomes 32. 1 gets added on to one number to the left, 0.0. So I've gone from 9, like imagine, look at these 2 digits, I've gone from 19 to 20, basically 1920. So 32.0 millimeters, that's my answer there. Okay, so that is basically covering everything we've done so far, is drawing the triangles out, labeling them, using SOHCAHTOA to select yourselves which trig function to use, and then going through the working uh, and finding that missing side. Okay.